Okay, so we are moving on to Guilty Gear X Plus. We'll probably skip the intro this time and everything, because I think it's the same intro. But yeah, the big addition to Guilty Gear X Plus specifically is a story mode. I have to actually remember that Circle is now confirmed, so that's fun. But again, one of the really lovely things is we actually have the ability to map Dust and also RC, so that'll make my life so much easier. We probably won't struggle as much because I remembered the difficulty this time, and also just because of those slight tweaks. So yeah, let's give this a shot. We have our traditional roster, so we'll pick Jam as usual. Again, the one downside of this is, hey, the story is entirely in Japanese. This is basically set up. I don't know if this, yeah, this scrolls automatically, but this is basically just, you know, a description of Jam. Martial artist and a chef. She basically wants to go to where Dizzy is, the forest where she is, because she's trying to find rare ingredients. So again, this story is like debatably canon, because again, in lore, I don't think she actually meets Dizzy at this point. I also don't remember if the text auto advances or if I have to advance it. I'm gonna give it a sec just to see if it auto advances. Yeah, it auto advances, that's cool, it makes my life easier. So Jam runs into Johnny. Also, hi Icy, welcome on in. Jam runs into Johnny and he immediately starts hitting on her, because of course he does. So basically she tells him off, tells him to go away, and then I guess they're gonna fight. Amazing storytelling, 10 out of 10, no notes. Johnny is such a fascinating character because he has noble characteristics. He's the Sanji of Guilty Gear, actually, now that I think about it. He's even blonde, and wait, no, Sanji doesn't use a sword. But it just kind of hit me, yeah, no, this is actually an apt comparison, I think. It's like, Johnny's a decent character as long as there are no women on screen. So yeah, Jam's story mode is weird. Like with Dizzy, we have to do all sorts of weird stuff to get all of our endings. For one thing, Jam only has 2 endings instead of 3. For Dizzy, as a reminder, because I actually double-checked it, ending 1, basically when Dizzy loses control, defeat Faust, instead of letting Faust defeat you. So that's a bad ending, where Faust heckin' dies, and then Dizzy goes into like a hibernation for thousands of years. Okay. Ending 2, she meets up with the jellyfish pirates. However, if you win the fight with the timer at a multiple of like 11, like Johnny, I'm pretty sure, dies, and Dizzy's in charge of the pirates, and then there's a time skip. So again, a very weird ending. And then ending 2, that's ending 3. Ending 2 is like the most traditional. But that one just involves her becoming part of the Jellyfish Pirates. Anyway, Jam runs into Venom now. Basically, Venom tells Jam to leave, and then Jam, in all of her tact, asks if Venom wants to wash dishes at her restaurant. This is a recurring thing. I think this is still a thing in Strive. Like, hey, you want to work for me? And then it's like, no, okay. Like, that's still a thing I want to say based on some of her intro quotes, that she'll just be like, hey Bridget, you want to work at my restaurant? And that's like their exchange. Ignoring the elephant in the room of gestures at Accent Core's story, which we'll probably see next stream. Because, hoo boy, I don't know how I'm gonna process Accent Core's story. Basically, any story that involves Bridget in Accent Core is like secondhand pain in retrospect. Frankly, even at the time, I didn't really like Bridget, weirdly enough, because I was so like conflicted on like all the gender stuff with Bridget. So like I didn't even play as her back in the day at all. Ow. So I talked a little bit about like how weird it is to get Dizzy's endings. Jam is way simpler. There's 2 endings. It depends on if you gotta continue or not. Like, that's literally it. So, ending 1, which is the better ending, you don't want to use a continue. Ending 2, you have to use a continue. That's it. So, again, very weird, and we'll, again, speed through to the end, because very little will change in the interim of the story until the last fight, if I'm reading this correctly. Alrighty, so that takes care of that. So next up is Potemkin, who Jam assumes is also looking for ingredients. It also mentions that Potemkin could eat things in 1 bite, apparently. Potemkin is also very confused by why a cook is here. This is all supposed to be taking place near the forest where Dizzy and Testament are, but for some reason they don't reflect that in the stage backgrounds, they just use the default stages for every character. Which is very weird, I don't understand it. But yeah, a lot of these conversations are interesting. Again, maybe not giving the best impression of Jam sometimes as a character. It's like, I feel like Jam would be a Fujoshi. Like, I don't know why, how to describe it, but I feel like Jam would be a Fujoshi. But yeah, I'm gonna have a time, because again, if I do like last time, I'm gonna like manually subtitle everything, and I'm going to drive myself insane doing so. Also because like the translations I've found online on like the Guilty Gear wiki, which I'm pretty sure also is like used in a game FAQs walkthrough, it's not the best translation, I feel. Again, there's a whole localization argument that could inevitably happen of like, you know, literal versus, you know, localized, and I do feel like there are issues with localized translations and literal translations both. Localizations can take too many liberties, but literal translations might miss details. So like there's stuff in Jam's story that literally involves like a Japanese homophone, so that's great. Very much a case of how the hell would they translate that into English if they ever were to translate this. I want them to translate X Plus someday, just because it's like the only main... Okay, that goes into a separate argument that I don't know if I want to unpack right now. Anyway, next is Kai. We get to see how thirsty Jam is. So, basically, she's getting close to the ingredients in question, and then Kai is like, why are you here? Please go. Please leave. To which Jam is like, oh my god, a hot guy. Canonically, Jam has a crush on Kai. It never goes anywhere, obviously. It's very one-sided, I'm pretty sure. And again, Kai mentions there are bounty hunters around because, you know, in the story, they're all, a bunch of bounty hunters are all trying to get Dizzy to claim a bounty of like $500,000 world dollars, I'm pretty sure. Is it 500k? That feels too low somehow. That's how much they give out for like free during Dual Rulers airing in Strive. There's one line that says bounty, there's a bounty out. I can't leave it like this. I don't know what it is in this context, so this is again a case where it's like, I feel like a localization would help that a lot. So again, sometimes you'll get these little fancy openings. This is actually a tell if you're on ending 1 or 2 for this, apparently. If you get an intro for Dizzy, that means you're on ending 2. If you don't, you're on ending 1. If I'm understanding this guide correctly. Also, with the little charges, you can stack them twice. I do not know if that's the case in Strive. I have not played Jam in that yet. I want to. Again, it's just a matter of, do I want to spend $25? Because I will want all the characters. I do not promise a Robo-Kai Legacy, like, playthrough, because that's like 3 games, and I don't know if I want to suffer through Guilty Gear Isuka. The game hurt my hand when I played it. Also, we're getting close to the forest. Next up is Testament. So they are obviously guarding Dizzy. I won't forgive anyone who bothers her. So yeah, telling Jam to GTFO, and Jam's like, I'm just here for ingredients. So apparently there's a line from Testament where they mention like atonement, because like the word, according to this, Shokuzai is a homophone that can be atonement or ingredients. So there's a miscommunication here because of that. Hi Peter, thank you for the head pats. Again, for like the YouTube cut down version, I'm likely going to just caption everything, so you just have it. Again, translation courtesy of the Guilty Gear Wiki. But again, just to save time, I'm not manually reading all this out because it auto-scrolls. I would be out of breath fast. Again, Testament's very gender and their lack of gender. Thank you for the hydration check. Okay. So, if I'm not mistaken, we just need to get through this fight and then we're basically at the end. Again, we might have time for Accent Core, actually. Ow. That looks painful to me. One nice thing about X2 is you actually have voice acting for the story mode, and it's in English. That's obviously a plus. One thing I learned recently was that Reload, specifically, was only on PC and Xbox in the West, I'm pretty sure. So, like, you actually can't play, like, Reload on PS2 from what I understand. I was looking for a PS2 copy of Reload to see if it existed, and I couldn't find anything. So, yeah, it's kind of weird how limited certain releases are. I know, then Overture existed, too. Oh, shoot. I need to be very careful. Because, again, this is dependent on if you use a continue or not. Meaning, if I want to get ending 1... Ow. If I want to get ending 1, I actually have to win this fight. Oh my god. Oh my god. Reminder, this is on beginner, and I still almost ate dirt. Neat, okay. Well, that's one stressor down, but we're finally in the forest. I think this dialogue is also going to be the same, no matter what. But either way, basically there's a miscommunication because Jam's like, oh my god, look at all of these ingredients, and Dizzy's like, go away. And then, like, Jam tries to clarify that she just wants the ingredients, and then Dizzy takes it. It's like, are you going to eat me? Please don't come any closer. It's like, what is this story? It sure is something. Yeah. And then they fight. So again, if you're on ending 1, this should automatically go to the fight from what I understand. If it's ending 2, there should be a little bit of an intro. So yeah, we're getting normal intro, so that means we're on this. If we lose this fight, we will automatically be sent to ending 2 then. Which is the other interesting caveat of this, from what I gather. So yeah, we actually do have to, like, first try this fight. Which, stress. Yeah, I personally like Dizzy a lot as a character. I definitely relate to her a lot, but Jam is just easy, like, an easier character to play. I was talking to Zon about this the other day because Zon was talking about, like, learning a conventional character because there are, like, 2 characters that she gravitated to are Bedman and Jacko, which are neither of which are very conventional. Like, Jam is more of a fundies like kind of character, fundamentals, versus like kind of like specific niche playstyles. So again, I think Zon would actually vibe with Jam a fair amount gameplay-wise. She's kind of mashy. I don't think as well, I guess depends on how you play her. But either way, for ending 1, Jam clarifies again that she doesn't want to eat Dizzy, which makes sense. I'm sorry, but you're carrying a knife and licking your lips. It's like, yeah, no, Jam does not always give off the best impression. Come in aside, I can read that much. This is a banger for like a chill ending song. So then she goes looking for ingredients and then talks about opening a restaurant. And then also invites Dizzy to come to said restaurant. And then, like, Dizzy asks what restaurant will it be, and then Jam says, the most popular in the city. Very confident. She also, a lot of times, will say, "Aya." That's basically a vocal sim for her, I'm pretty sure. She also likes impossibly tight outfits, goddamn. It's like, this isn't even the worst. X-Arts is worse. She's extremely vacuum sealed in X-Art, for a lack of a better term. I'm pretty sure I have to press button, but like, I'm kind of just soaking up the song for a moment. Yeah, again, I think we have to actually press something. I mean, what button do we press for that then? Start, I guess. So, again, we have the fun task of unlocking endings in this game, which means doing it all over again. Where the hell are you in this menu? Like, genuinely, where are you? There you are. So, for obvious reasons, we're going to skip through this. But, with the caveat of, I have to lose one set, essentially, in order to get onto the second ending route. So, yeah, I'm just gonna throw this match, and then I'll just play it out as normal. Yeah, I think this is the same. I'm gonna let it play out just to make sure, because I don't read Japanese. I can cross-reference. The guide I have doesn't actually say it's different, so that's why I'm assuming it's probably fine. Comparing this to my limited knowledge of Japanese, and it's like... Yeah, I think this is the same. Okay, let's see if I actually did it correctly and we get the alternate path. So yeah, her immediately starting with super, like that. That is an indication that we are on ending 2, which is arguably the bad ending. I feel like most of these games have like a good ending and a bad ending of varying degrees. Like Dizzy's endings mostly involve her accidentally like obliterating someone. Then her good ending involves her own family. So the juxtaposition is stark. Well, I didn't get a chance to do this in arcade mode, so let's try it here. Ow. There we go. Hell yeah, got to work. So, yeah, this ending isn't as cheery. Jam won the fight, but the problem is, everything's kind of obliterated around them. Which actually makes sense, given that she starts with, like, whatever that beam move is. I actually forget the name of it. So yeah, everything's torched up around them to the point that there's no usable ingredients. Which then basically means Jam can't open a restaurant. I actually don't know what the ending image is exactly here. This very somber music. This game actually probably has a lot of unique music, yeah, so everything's just torched around them. So obviously the least canon ending, but again, I would argue even the first ending's kind of dubious because, like, when Jam and Dizzy are supposed to meet in the story, which I don't think is during the timeline of X, if I'm remembering correctly. But believe it or not, that actually takes care of Guilty Gear X Plus too, because I'm not going to do another arcade run. I've already done 2 today, essentially. So we're going to move straight into Guilty Gear X2.